Hello my lovelies and welcome to another video on my channel. Thank you very much for joining me today as always. This video is going to be about creating this mani here. I'm kind of on the fence with this one. I can't decide whether I like it or not. What do you think? Let me know your thoughts. It was one of those times where I sat down and I had no idea what I wanted to do in terms of design or color. I didn't want to use red and green. Because Christmas is coming up next month and we're just going to have red and green everywhere. So I thought I'll leave that for Christmas, and I'd already just, the mani I took off was pink and black and white, so I didn't want to use those either. So I kind of ended up settling on purple, which is my favorite color, so that was no issue at all. But then I wasn't sure what design to do, and I ended up doing encapsulation, a bit of a sort of a glitter and flower encapsulation, and it was just kind of an on the whim, spur of the moment. Hadn't really sort of thought it through. So anyway, let me know what you think. Let me know if you like it or not. Everything I use today, other than obviously sort of cleanser and the standard stuff, I've got sitting here. So this purple is a Madam Glam No Edit. It is a very translucent purple, otherwise known as a jelly polish. This polish, you'll see with me struggle with it just a little bit. It's gone very gloopy, which is probably my fault, because this polish, I think it came in the advent calendar. I don't think it was last year's. I think it was the years before. Yeah, I think it was. So, you know, it's been on my shelf for a couple of years, so it's probably not surprising it's gone a little bit gloopy. If you don't have a see-through color like this, you can very easily make your own. So take your color of choice and mix it with a base coat until you get that, the shade that you're after, or the translucence that you're after. Because you're mixing them together, I would ideally use the same brand if you can, same brand of gel polish. If your base coat's different from your color, then just mix them, but then cure it for the longest time. So if your color is, say, for example, 60 seconds, your base coat's a 30-second cure it for 60 seconds to make sure everything is nicely cured. I also used a base coat and my top coat. This is my glitz nails that came with the polygel that I've been trying out lately. If you've watched that video, I've been checking out polygel. So this is the second time that I've used it, and I'm in love with this product. I do love it. I haven't quite got the thickness sussed yet, but that's okay. That will come with time, not being a polygel user. Yeah, but it's great. I love it. In terms of the glitters, so this is a mixed pack. So these two came together in a pack. These are from NSI Australia. I do have a 10% code, 10% off your first order code, which I will pop up on the screen. This came in a pack of 6. I love these glitters. You've probably seen me use these before. I did an encapsulation with these, I don't know, a few months back. So I used the purple and the gold from that set of 6. These dots, honestly can't remember where I got these from. These also came from a set of 6. I'll see if I can dig through and see. I'll see if I can find them on this NSI website. Most of my nail art goodies come from NSI Australia, so I'll see if I can find that on the website. I've also got these flowers that I used. And you will need I use my crystal picker upper, but you could use a dotting tool, anything that you want just to basically pick up the individual pieces of these glitters you will need. So a dotting tool or a orange wood stick, toothpick at a pinch, anything like that will be fine. Just something you can use to pick it up. I use these. These are not, you don't need to have these. These aren't essential. I just use these to decant my glitters and dots into, just to make it easier for me to pick them up, because otherwise, you know, these pots are really quite full. Even though I've had them for a while, a little bit of glitter goes a very long way. So yes, I use that to decant some of my glitters, but as I said, that's not essential. And I think that's everything I used today. Please excuse the state of my cuticles. We've just had constant cold weather here and my skin is just so dry. Even cuticle oiling like a couple of times a day and moisturising and everything is just not keeping on top of it. So please do ignore my very dry cuticles. Anyway, I hope you like this video. If you haven't liked and subscribed to my channel, then I would love it if you did so before you left. And I hope you enjoy the video. So here I'm coming in with my gel cleanser. As always, you want to start everything with clean nails. So come in with the cleanser of your system, or isopropyl alcohol, something that's going to give get rid of all the oils and dust from your nail plate. You want to make sure as well you clean the cuticle area and under your free edge really thoroughly, especially if you've just filed your nails. There I've just got a bit of random bit of glitter that I was struggling to get off, as you can see. So my cuties, please excuse the state of my hands. They are very, very dry, combination of the weather that we've had recently. And of course, I've been doing my nails this morning, so using isopropyl alcohol and a lot of drying out products. So please do excuse that. I will be attacking them with the cuticle oil after I'm finished here. So here I'm going in with that Madame Glam colour. It is called No Edit. It's a pretty colour. I actually hadn't used it before, even though I've had it for a while. It came in the Advent calendar, not last year, so the year before. So it's 2020's Advent calendar. So it's been sitting on my shelf for a little while. So I did find it gloopy and a little bit inconsistent in the colour. I don't know whether that's pretty common for these jelly translucent colours. It's the first time I've used a colour like this. Normally I tend to go for the more opaque colours. But I just wanted something, I knew I wanted to do glitter encapsulation, and I wanted to put it under colour. Normally I just do it under clear because, well, glitter under clear just looks amazing. But I just thought I wanted to give my nails a little bit of dimension, and I thought I'd try it underneath a gel with some colour. So let me know what you think, whether you think this looks good or not so good. Yeah, I still can't quite decide, but anyway, we'll see how we go. If I really don't like it, then I'll just remove it. But at the moment, I'm kind of undecided. So I'm just coming in with a single coat of this colour. I only do 2 layers with this colour. So I do the layer underneath, and then I put my glitter on the top of that, and then I do another layer of the No Edit over the top. So I could possibly have diluted this colour a little bit. I could have mixed it with base coat, which I think I mentioned in my intro, and that will give you a bit more transparency to the colour. But then I thought this colour is probably quite translucent enough, so I just use it as it is. But it's a very pretty shade of purple. It's lovely. It's a nice sort of, I don't know, is that a violet sort of colour? It's nice. It's a bit hard. It looks a little bit different in real life than it does on the camera, as always. But I have tried to brighten this a little bit because I thought the video initially was a little bit dark. So I have brightened it a little bit. So yes, we're just coming in and finishing off that first layer, and then when I've finished with that or applying that layer, it is going to go into the lamp for 30 seconds. Most Madame Glam polishes are 30-second cure, and this one's translucent, so it's 30 seconds is plenty for this colour. Sometimes I do, especially with the darker colours, I will cure them for longer, but I didn't with this colour because it's I didn't feel like it needed it. So I'm coming in here with a base coat, a layer of base coat. So this is just to hold my glitters in place. So I wanted a clear polish for this. I didn't want the purple to become too deep, which is why I used a base coat instead of another layer of purple. Also, using a base coat or any clear gel really is going to give you the ability to move the glitters around on your nail without damaging the color layer. So if you were to do that into a layer of polish, you sort of want to place, or color polish I should say, sorry. You want to place them and then not move them around because you'll damage the color layer as well. Whereas when you use a clear polish, a base gel, something like that, it really doesn't matter. You can move it around your nail and it's not going to make any difference. So I apologize, I am slightly out of shot there. I think I do realize. And then come back into focus. So you'll see I'm just moving the glitters around. There I'm just checking that the glitters are laying very flat on the nail. What you don't want, because obviously the shape of your nail is curved, and the glitters don't curve with the shape of your nail. So I tend to put, especially with the round ones and the larger pieces of glitter, I tend to put them on either side of the nail, because if you put them down the center, I've actually got quite a sharp C curve on my nails. And then you end up with the glitter sticking up on one or both sides, and then you're going to end up with potential lifting issues, or you end up needing to put like a really thick layer of clear over the top, or which I didn't want to do. So you'll see me push the bigger pieces around the nail and make sure that they are on the sides, and I just freeze cured that. I didn't really need to. I just did. I think sometimes I do it out of habit more than anything. Because it's not like it was going to run anywhere or anything, but I don't think I do it for the other nails. I think I kind of did that and thought, well, that was a complete waste of time. So I don't think I do that again. Not that it really matters if you freeze cure your nails or not, but if you don't need to. But yeah, I think I just do it out of habit. So here I'm just coming in with some more dots, and I'm taking the glitters from different palettes of the glitters that I showed you at the beginning. So I'm sort of mixing up the dots. I put some of the little circles and some of the butterflies and things I got from the other bits of glitter. So it's handy having those little pots where you can decant your glitters, because then you can just pick and choose what you want to place and where. And you'll find that I only place things like the butterflies and the flowers on my bigger nails, my little finger and my ring finger. My nails are really quite small. I don't have a big nail bed. They're not particularly wide or anything like that. So I do have to be a bit careful with the larger pieces of glitters. I can really only put them on my larger nails, which are basically my thumb, my index and my middle finger. My ring finger and my little finger generally just gets the smaller pieces. Because otherwise I have to fight too much or put too much of a thick layer to make sure the glitter is fully encapsulated. And with this one, I just intended to put the purple, a layer of purple over the top and top coat. I wasn't intending to put a big layer of builder gel or anything like that. I hadn't actually realised when I sat down and did this mani that I was intending to do glitter encapsulation. If I'd done that, I would have made my base layer thinner. So my base layer for this is the Glitz Nails Polygel. So I've got a video up, which I've done a review of that recently. It's a product that I'm still trialing, but I'm actually really impressed with it so far. It's fantastic. So, but I would have done a thinner layer had I realised that I was going to do this design. But when I sat down, I really had no idea what I was going to do. So here I'm just taking one of those flowers. These are funny things to work with. I hadn't used these before either. And you'll probably have a laugh at me here because you'll see me trying to pat it into place. I'd put some gel on the top of it as well, because I'd already done one on my other hand and learnt my lesson that you really need to make sure you've got gel on the top of the flower as well as the bottom, because otherwise it just wants to lift. And as you'll see here, as I got one side perfectly flat and beautiful, the other side just bobbed up. This one I do freeze cure. Or snap cure, whatever you want to call it, because I realized, I thought, right, if I leave this, it's going to keep bobbing up. So as soon as I got it into place, I just popped that in the lamp, only for about 5 or 10 seconds. It really doesn't need very long, just enough to sort of freeze that gel in place and keep that flower under control, because it just kind of had a mind of its own and it wanted to keep sticking up, and I really didn't want it to. So this finger, my next finger, this is where I'm sort of going in with a combination. I'm using the other glitter a bit more here. So I come in with some butterflies and a few circles and a couple of hexagons and things like that. So this one I sort of mix it up a little bit in terms of the glitter that I use. You'll still see that I'm moving them around my nail as I need to. Just as I sort of think of a better place to, better placement for the bits of glitter, I just move them around my nail. And so that's the benefit of using a clear gel. It's not disturbing that purple colour underneath at all. I apologise if you can hear that noise. My neighbour is out there with a chainsaw. We've got a beautiful sunny day and he's decided, and good on him, it's time to do some gardening. But yeah, I do apologise if you hear that in the background. I've shut the door, but you know, chainsaws are pretty noisy things, so I apologise if that's coming through on the video. I'm sorry, my other hand's getting in the way there a little bit, isn't it? Try and be more conscious of that in future. And I'm just getting rid of a dog fur there. As always, I had my 2 dogs in the study with me, and their fur just goes everywhere. For anyone that has animals, you know what that's like. So yes, I often end up with dog fur in my gel, and just make sure you remove it before you cure it, and then it's no big deal. But yes, you definitely want to spot it before you pop your nail into the lamp. Oh, and we've got another one. Okay, and once I'm happy with that, that goes in the lamp for 30 seconds. Again, it doesn't need a long cure because it's just a clear layer, and it's going to get a longer cure afterwards. So 30 seconds for that is fine. If I was doing full cover of my nails, if I was doing the glitter over the entire surface of the nail, I would have gone in for a longer cure. I would have gone in for 60 seconds, but I didn't really feel that needed it for this particular design. And here I'm just coming in with my second layer of that no edit colour. And just capping my free edge. That's more for sort of make sure the glitter's enclosed, and because this is a translucent colour, when I capped the free edge on the first layer, it didn't necessarily show up all that well, so I just did some of the nails, if not all of them. I did cap the free edge on the second layer as well, which is pretty unusual for me. Normally I only do the one, but as I said, because it's a translucent colour, I just felt like it needed that extra bit of capping on some of the nails. And this was my flower, which had actually stuck down once I'd freeze cured it, so that was good. And I'm just going over that with the purple. I think because of the texture of the flower, the gel sort of had a little bit of trouble going over it because I was doing a thin layer. So I think I just go in with a bit of extra polish and just thicken up that layer a little bit. And I'm also careful to make sure I get the colour around it as well, because it's quite high, that flower. It's actually got a bit of height to it. So yeah, that was a little bit different for me. I hadn't used those before. Oh, another dog fur. So yes, they were a little bit different. Yeah, they were interesting to use. If anyone's used those, then yeah, do let me know and let me know what your thoughts were. I think I bought them intending to do sort of that encapsulated flower design, you know, probably about a year ago or something, and they've been sitting in my collection. So yeah, I thought I'll just give those a try. So today was just really kind of about trying different things, I thought, because next month I knew exactly what's, you know, next month is Christmas designs. That's what it's going to be for, you know, the next 4 weeks. So I thought I'd get something that's not Christmassy in before December hits, because as soon as that happens, it's going to be all reds, greens, silvers, golds, bows, Christmas trees, and all of those good things. So, and it's always handy to have a theme, because when I sit down next month or in the next few weeks to do my nails, I'll at least have a clue of what I'm doing, unlike today where I just kind of sat down and went, okay, now what? So yes, it just but yeah, as it turns out, I think it turned out okay in the end, even though I really didn't know what I was doing. And this is the Glitz Nails top coat. So this is the top coat that came with the polygel that I've been using. And I'm really impressed with this top coat and the sheen on it. And I did my last mani I had on for a couple of weeks, and it was basically still as shiny after 2 weeks as it was the day that I applied it. So I thought I would use this one again, give it a bit of a go. But yeah, I'm really, really impressed with it. So yeah, I just thought I'd give that a go. I didn't put a clear builder layer or anything like that on the top, because I'd been careful with my placement of my glitters, and I'd made sure that they were all laying flat. I really didn't need to, and I didn't want to bulk my nails up any more than they already are. As I said, if I'd realised that I was going to do some glitter encapsulation, then I would have put a thinner layer of the polygel on. But anyway, never mind. You don't always know what, I certainly don't always know what I'm going to do when I sit down. So it's what happens when you're disorganised and you just do things on a whim. But I think it turns out okay. They're just a little bit thicker than I would normally like, but that's fine. That's just personal preference anyway. I see a lot of nail videos and things with, you know, a lot of quite thick nails and things. So it just comes down to personal preference. And what lasts well on you as well. That's the other thing. You know, you've got to go with the products that work for you, and yeah, what works for you to get longevity out of your nails. And if that means out of your polish, if that means going, you know, slightly thicker layers, then do it. Why not? No harm done. So yes, I'm just going in. I quite like the consistency of this top coat, actually. It's a nice medium consistency. It's not particularly thick or particularly thin. It's nice and easy to work with. And as I said, super shiny. So yeah, lovely product. And then that goes in the lamp for 60 seconds. It's a 60-second cure, this top coat. So that's off. And this is the final result. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video as always. Thank you very much for watching, and hope to see you in the next one. Thanks everyone. Bye.